Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Welcome to NAV Canada's annual meeting. All of you here at the Shaw Centre and all of you who are watching our webcast. Je m'appelle Marc Courtois, je suis le président du Conseil d'administration de NAV Canada et je présiderai cette Assemblée générale annuelle. My name is Marc Courtois. I'm chair of the board of NAV Canada and I will act as chair of this annual meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Seated on my left is Neil Wilson, President and Chief Executive Officer. To his left is Sandy Struthers, Executive Vice President, Finance and Chief Financial Officer. And to Sandy's left is Leanne Kirby, Vice President, General Counsel, and Corporate Secretary. Ms. Kirby will act as Secretary of this annual meeting. Notice of this annual meeting has been given and we have a quorum of members present in person or by proxy. I would like to welcome our members. Lawrence Hanson, the government member representing the Minister of Transport. Peter Duffy, the union member representing the NAV Canada Bargaining Agents Association. Suzanne Acton-Gervais, the commercial user member representing the National Airlines Council of Canada. Anthony Norelco, the non-commercial user member representing the Canadian Business Aviation Association. And I represent the Board of Directors of NAV Canada as the director member. I'd like to announce now the newly appointed members of the Advisory Committee. NAV Canada's Advisory Committee conducts activities on behalf of the Board of Directors on matters relating to the ANS. This 20-member committee represents a broad spectrum of organizations with an interest in the ANS. Members are elected for 3-year terms. Names of nominees to stand for election to the Advisory Committee were submitted to NAV Canada's Corporate Secretary in November 2019. In the category of Air Transport Association of Canada, Les Alders was nominated by ATAC. In the category of unions, Peter Duffy was nominated by the Canadian Air Traffic Control Association. In the category of Professional Pilots Association, Captain Peter Black was nominated by the Airline Pilots Association International. In the category of Foreign Air Operators Association, Jeff Miller was nominated by the International Air Transport Association. In the category of Non-Commercial User Association, Anthony Norelco was nominated by the Canadian Business Aviation Association. In the category of National Airports Association, Brett Patterson was nominated by the Canadian Airports Council. In the category of Regional Aviation Associations, Chris Drossos was nominated by the Northern Air Transport Association. And finally, in the category of Member at Large, Todd Tripp was nominated by the Regional Community Airports of Canada. Chris Reynolds left the Advisory Committee this past year. On behalf of the board, I would like to thank him for his service. The current members of the NAV Canada Advisory Committee are listed on the slides at the front of this room. Des exemplaires du rapport annuel pour l'exercice clôturé le 31 août 2019 ont été distribués aux membres et aux autres parties intéressées avant la présente Assemblée annuelle générale. Une copie des états financiers de la Société pour l'exercice clôturé le 31 août 2019 est incluse dans le rapport annuel de NAV Canada. Additional copies of the report are available at the reception desk. NAV Canada's financial statements are made up of the Consolidated Statement of Financial Position, Operations, Comprehensive Income, Changes in Equity and Cash Flows, and the notes to the consolidated financial statements, and the Public Accountant's Report to the members. The next item of business is the appointment of the public accountant. I will receive a motion in this regard and recognize Peter Duffy, representing the NAV Canada Bargaining Agents Association.
KPMG LLP be appointed public accountants of the corporation for the year ending August 31st, 2020, and that the directors be authorized to fix their remuneration.
Thank you, Mr. Duffy. I'd ask Anthony Norelco, representing the Canadian Business Aviation Association, to second the motion.
Good afternoon, everyone. I second the motion.
Thank you, Anthony. Is there any discussion about the motion? I would ask all those members, the 5 of us, in favor to signify by raising their hands. Thank you. Contrary, if any, carried. The Board of Directors of NAV Canada is comprised of 15 individuals who are elected by the members as follows. Government member elects 3 directors. The commercial user member elects 4 directors. The non-commercial user member elects 1 director. And the union member elects 2 directors. And the director member elects 4 directors. The President and Chief Executive Officer is also a director. Directors are elected for 1, 2, or 3-year terms. At the conclusion of this meeting, the individuals listed on the slides at the front of the room will be duly elected or will be continuing in office. Good afternoon and welcome to our annual general meeting. As Chair of the Board of Directors of NAV Canada, the annual general meeting is a highlight of the year for me. A rare and welcome opportunity to speak in person to you, the customers, the stakeholders, employees, and guests who have taken the time to join us today. We're still just a few days into 2020, so I'd also like to wish you a very happy new year. À NAV Canada, une nouvelle année signifie réitérer notre intention de nous améliorer sans cesse, et à cet égard, je suis heureux de dire que 2019 ne nous a pas déçus. Comme fournisseur des services de navigation aérienne, ou FSNA, la sécurité de l'espace aérien est notre priorité. Cette année encore, notre dossier figurait parmi les meilleurs au monde et nous avons continué d'élaborer et de déployer de nouvelles stratégies pour accroître la rigueur et l'efficacité de notre approche. Nous avons aussi consolidé notre réputation comme leader mondial en innovation. In March 2019, we became the first ANSP in the world to launch space-based automatic dependent surveillance broadcast, known as ADS-B, in domestic airspace. And with our partners in the UK, we are the first to use this technology in oceanic airspace. Space-based ADS-B provides 100% coverage of global airspace, reporting the exact position of aircraft in real time and enabling a new and unprecedented degree of safety and efficiency. As an investor in Aerion, the joint venture deploying the technology, NAV Canada continues to play a leading role in bringing this remarkable innovation to the world. Further, underscoring our commitment to safety and adding value for our customers, you may recall a little over a year ago, we recorded another first, the implementation of the new ICAO standard established on RNPAR at Calgary International Airport. The results of this innovation, known as EOR, which conclude reductions in fuel consumption, in GHG emissions, and in aircraft noise over the city of Calgary, have exceeded our expectations, as well as those of our customers. We'll be hearing more about how these and other innovations are transforming air navigation in Canada and around the world from our President and Chief Executive Officer. We are only beginning to realize the potential of these technologies to increase safety and efficiency and to reduce the impact of aircraft emissions on our environment and aircraft noise on our communities. En d'autres mots, c'est une période passionnante pour l'aviation, les services de navigation aérienne de NAV CANADA. Cette année, nous avons mis en place de nouveaux moyens de collaboration avec nos clients et parties prenantes afin de pouvoir profiter de toutes les occasions d'accroître la sécurité, l'efficacité et la durabilité offertes par ces nouvelles technologies au cours des mois et des années à venir. En terminant, j'aimerais remercier mes collègues du Conseil pour leur soutien et leurs sages conseils. Je tiens à remercier particulièrement Louise Tardy, qui a quitté le Conseil en mai 2019 après 3 années de service, et à souhaiter la bienvenue à Marc Grégoire, élu par le gouvernement du Canada. Finally, you may have noticed that throughout my remarks, I have said, we did this and we did that. I want to make it very clear by that we, I mean the employees of NAV Canada. It is their commitment to safety, their dedication to excellence, their skill and their expertise that have earned NAV Canada its reputation as one of the world's leading air navigation service providers. On behalf of the board, I'd like to express my appreciation to all our employees for all they do, and to our President and Chief Executive Officer, Neil Wilson, for his leadership. Encore une fois, merci à tous de vous être joints à nous aujourd'hui. Now, I would like to welcome Neil Wilson, President and Chief Executive Officer, for his remarks. Neil.
Merci, Marc. Thanks very much, Marc. Allow me, please, to add my best wishes to all of you, to everyone here in this room, everybody joining us on the webcast. Best wishes to everybody for a very happy, a very healthy, a very safe New Year. Welcome to the 2020s. Et bienvenue à notre Assemblée générale annuelle à tous les employés de NAV CANADA, agents négociateurs, clients, parties prenantes, membres du public et invités. As Marc has said, this is indeed an exciting and a very challenging time for the aviation industry. First, as we look back today over 2019, we see what have been some truly remarkable developments over the past year. Technological innovations that are already contributing to greater safety, greater efficiency, greater sustainability in aviation. And NAV Canada played a lead role in demonstrating the value of these innovations to the world. And again in 2019, it was the NAV Canada employees who made the difference. Day in and day out, these are the more than 5,000 people working at over 100 sites everywhere in this country across Canada to keep our skies safe and to deliver the service and the value that our customers and our stakeholders have come to expect from NAV Canada. Sécurité, service et valeurs sont les résultats qui définissent notre succès en tant qu'entreprise et qui sont au cœur de toutes nos activités. Safety, of course, stands above all the others, and it is the first priority for every one of our employees, the first consideration in everything we do. And that's why in fiscal 2019, NAV Canada was very proud to be able to say that its safety record was again ranked amongst the best in the world. We have never, though, of course, rested on our laurels, and we do not rest on them now. Over the past year, amongst other safety-related activities, we completed an in-depth review and significant update of our corporate safety plan, both in the way we plan and in our approach to dealing with those risks that are identified. We did identify a number of opportunities to strengthen our safety management system, following up with action plans to guide implementation in both the immediate and in the longer term. Based on the results of a fairly wide-ranging risk assessment, including input from employees across the country, we identified the top 8 risks to operational safety and shared these with all of our employees and stakeholders, as well as the actions we're going to take to address these risks, again, in the short term, the intermediate term, and in the longer term. Further ensuring the safety of our skies was, as Mark said, the first ever use of the Ariane space-based ADS-B system in domestic airspace in Edmonton and Gander, and in oceanic airspace over the North Atlantic, an achievement recognized by awards of excellence from both the Civil Air Navigation Services Organization and the Air Traffic Control Association. On ne peut, je crois, exagérer les avantages de cette technologie qui englobe tout, sécurité, service et valeur. 100% coverage of global airspace compared to the 30% of coverage provided by existing ground-based systems. The exact position, airspeed, and heading of aircraft in real time, allowing air traffic systems to identify and address potential loss of separation between aircraft before it occurs. As well, with real-time monitoring, separation between aircraft can be reduced safely, allowing more aircraft to fly at the most efficient altitudes, follow the most direct routes, reducing their fuel consumption and the greenhouse gas emissions. In 2012, NAV Canada was the first air navigation service provider, or ANSP, to invest in Ariane, and in 2019, we were the first to put it to work. Today, a growing number of national ANSPs are choosing to invest in and deploy Ariane, from the UK to Italy, to South Africa, to India, and beyond. Mark also mentioned our implementation of the new ICAO EOR standard at Calgary International Airport, another innovation that is attracting the attention of our counterparts around the world, and for very good reason. In the first year of EOR operation at Calgary, there were 250,000 fewer nautical miles of power-on low-altitude flights over the city. Flying time for customers has been reduced by as much as 5 hours per day, 1,400 hours a year, and more than 4 million kilos of greenhouse gas emissions have been avoided. And an important reason for this success was our ability to work closely and in a very collaborative effort with our customers to bring this into effect, in particular our customers based in Calgary. Implementing the EOR standard is part of our national RNP-AR program, Required Navigation Performance Authorization Required. RNP technology enables pilots flying aircraft equipped with the appropriate avionics to use satellite positioning to fly shorter, more precise approaches to airports, reducing flight time, fuel consumption, and emissions. RNP approaches also allow continuous descent operations, helping to mitigate aircraft noise, and in some cases also allow better avoidance of populated areas altogether. In 2019, we introduced RNP at 5 more locations, and the technology is now fully operational at 16 airports across the country, right across Canada. And along with these environmental and noise mitigation benefits, we anticipate RNP is going to save our customers more than $130 million in fuel costs through the 2020 fiscal year. Toutes ces améliorations, ainsi que d'autres, comme un nouveau système de gestion des arrivées à Toronto Pearson, la mise à niveau à nos systèmes météorologiques, et l'installation accrue de systèmes de multilatération aux aéroports contribuent à la sécurité et à l'efficacité de nos opérations. And it's essential that we continue to adapt, to improve, and to innovate. While performance-based navigation and expanding deployment of technology such as space-based ADS-B offer significant benefits, NAV Canada must be prepared to respond to a changing and potentially challenging business environment. The pace of technology change is accelerating. The business models of our major customers are shifting. For example, growth in air traffic movements has slowed recently, greatly impacted by the grounding of the 737 MAX, part of our customers' business that we must take into account. At the same time, we're seeing a rapid increase in new entrants in the airspace for which we are responsible. NAV Canada must, and we will, adapt and prepare for these challenges. Toutes ces conditions réunies amènent à la fois d'importants défis opérationnels et financiers, et de grandes possibilités. Over the past year, we have strengthened our capacity to identify and respond to these and other potential changes, combining a number of existing functions in a new corporate planning and performance group, for example. We've taken also the first steps towards changing the company's approach to enterprise resource management. As always, to address these and other opportunities to seize the day to maintain excellence in our day-to-day operations, we rely on our outstanding employees, our outstanding workforce, the people whose commitment, whose skill, whose professionalism have earned NAV Canada recognition as one of the best air navigation service providers in the world. We strive to provide our employees with an exceptional, with a challenging, with a rewarding workplace, and we were proud to be recognized for the 4th year in a row as one of Canada's top 100 employers. And while this is truly gratifying, that recognition, we know that building a great workplace is a collaborative effort. NAV Canada could not be a top employer if it did not have top employees. And it's my pleasure, not only as CEO in that capacity, but personally, to take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks to all of you, to all of our employees, the people who have made it possible for me to be able to stand up here today and to report on another great year for this company. So thank you. Enfin, j'aimerais remercier Marc et les autres membres du Conseil pour leur soutien et leur conseil constant. I'd like to take a moment to recognize Kim Troutman, our now retired Vice President of Engineering and Technical Operations. Thank you for a lifetime of contributions to our air navigation system and service here in Canada. And I'd like to welcome Mark Cooper. Welcome to our executive team as Senior Vice President, Air Navigation Services Technologies. Mark brings a wealth of experience to his leadership of NAV Canada's engineering and technical operations teams. I'd also like to recognize and thank our customers and all of our stakeholders for another year of collaboration and engagement and great results. It is this commitment to working together that results in the successes mentioned here today, and that will help us shape our air navigation system and the world's air navigation system for tomorrow. So again, thanks very, very much for everything you did in 2019. I'm really looking forward to 2020. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for joining us on the webcast. Merci beaucoup.
Merci, Neil. Les règlements de NAV Canada exigent que le président accorde une période de l'Assemblée générale annuelle au cours de laquelle les associés, les intervenants et les membres du public pourront poser des questions à la direction de NAV Canada. The bylaws of our company provide that a portion of this meeting be allotted for associates, stakeholders, and members of the public to ask questions of management. I now open the floor to questions. For those here in the room, please use the microphones located around the room, and please identify yourself by name and association. For those watching our webcast, please use the question button on your screen to email your question, and please include your name and location. We will respond to questions by email after we've responded to questions from the floor. Do we have any questions from the floor?
Yes, sir. Pat Floyd, on my own behalf and on behalf of the Canadian Sport Parachuting Association, just requesting why NAV Canada, through its policies, procedures, and staffing levels, have significantly impacted the sport of parachuting and the commercial air operators in the Vancouver FIR. There have been 5 operators that significantly impact, 1 bankrupt, 2 out of business, and 2 others. These are at Pitt Meadows, Victoria, Tofino, and Campbell River.
Thank you for your question. I would ask Mr. Wilson to deal with that question.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Thanks, Pat. Good to see you again. Long time. Of course, we're aware of the concerns of the parachute sport industry across the country, but also particularly in the Vancouver FIR. We've been working, as you know, with you and with your client for some time now to reach operational agreements to allow us to run the entire system safely and appropriately. Of course, the airspace surrounding Vancouver Island, the Lower Mainland, is amongst the most complex and indeed congested in the country with a huge variety of operations. We have commenced, and we're consulting with you as well as with all stakeholders in that airspace with a redesign of the airspace and a modernization project. This, of course, is a multi-year undertaking. It is very complex, but we look forward to working with you and your clients, as well as with all of the other customers and with all of the stakeholders in that area in order to bring about the kind of changes that are necessary in order to ensure that there can be safe operation for all operators in that airspace at all times. As to some of the specifics around the agreements, Leanne can address some of those and where we are with those.
Thank you. So thank you, Mr. Floyd. It's nice to meet you in person. We've been working with your organization, as Neil has mentioned, for an extended period, and we look forward to continuing to do so. In fact, we have offered and offer again here today to attend with you at your actual annual general meeting or board meeting of the association to help explain the issues that we are addressing there. Transport Canada has indicated the need for these operational agreements. They are working well in other areas of the country, and we look forward to continuing our dialogue so that we can get those operational agreements in place for the various organizations you've mentioned so that operations can continue in a safe and efficient manner. So we will continue this dialogue.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Leanne. Any other questions from the floor? If not, are there any questions from the webcast? Merci. Is there any other business to be brought before this meeting? I declare the meeting terminated. I would invite you all to join us for refreshments in the lobby area outside this meeting room. Thank you all for coming.